Hello there folks, welcome back to the Chap's Guide. My name is Ash and I am your host on this journey through men's style, self-development and men's grooming. Now in my guise as the style doctor, I thought I would invite people to ask me some questions on any items of style which they would seek an alternative observation or view. And sure enough, I did get a question from, now I'm going to try and speak this name, it's Min Fu Octo. Apologies if I butchered that, but the question is, hello Chap Doctor. I would love to hear your opinions on the Teba jacket. I find this jacket increasingly becoming interesting because it stands perfectly in the middle ground between formal and casual. And I've got to tell you, I share your opinion. I have been very surprised over the last sort of generation why the Teba jacket has not become more popular in the modern world, particularly because in the modern era we are adopting a more and more casual approach to being smartly dressed, and the Teba jacket is definitely somewhere between a formal jacket and a very casual jacket. It kind of straddles the line between both of those areas, those themes of attire. Now, it's worth just discussing for a moment the characteristics that makes an item a Teba jacket. And I don't own one myself to wear here to tell you or demonstrate to you these characteristics. Now, the first thing that you need to be aware of is that the Teba jacket is a soft garment, all right? It's unpadded. It doesn't have padding to the chest and shoulders. It's kind of structured, but it isn't an unstructured jacket either. It's somewhere in the middle. It's usually made of wool, cashmere. I have seen them made of cotton. I have seen them made of linen. And they've got a few other characteristics which you will typically find in most examples. Probably the most obvious is the lapel and collar, because what you'll often see the defining factor with a Teba jacket is the collar and the lapel all joins up together in one sort of homogeneous style. Rather than having a notched lapel, it's all one collar. It's not a shawl collar, it's something entirely different and unique to the Teba coat, which you'll recognize when you see it. Now, it normally is always single-breasted and it will normally have 4 buttons down the front. Now, I've seen some with 3, but often the buttons are made of leather as well, which kind of steers it again towards that slightly more casual characteristic. You'll also see them with patch pockets, with sometimes flaps, sometimes not, but typically flaps on the lower pockets with a breast pocket, always patch rather than sort of integral. And yeah, quite an interesting garment. And as I say, its origins is almost entirely functional. And if we look back at the origin story of the jacket, it was created on the whim of a Spanish nobleman, now the 21st Count of Teba. He was a very wealthy man, and I believe his country estate was in Andalusia. And when he was visiting his country estate in the summer months, he sought a jacket which would be loose, which would allow him unrestricted access to bring his arm up into the aiming position whilst using a rifle, because his sport of choice was hunting game, pigeons, partridge, stuff like that, in the grounds of his country estate. And he commissioned a local tailor to make for him a jacket which was smart and stylish, yet at its core functional and capable of being used as a shooting jacket to allow him that range of movement. And what was created was what we now call today the Teba jacket, after the 21st Count of Teba, hence the name. And now it was, as is often the case with nobility, when they start wearing a garment, it becomes, seen as an aspirational item of clothing for the lower classes. And this was particularly accelerated when the Count of Teba made a gift of one of these jackets to, I think it was Alfonso XIII, King of Spain, who wore the jacket. And of course, when royalty wears something, you know, it's emulated by the lower classes. Certainly the next class down seek to look like the monarch, and hence it's swept through society. Now today in Spain, the Teba jacket is kind of, you know, the de rigueur sports jacket for country wear. But not just for country sporting activities, it has transitioned into the city too, where it seems to be able to be worn not just for smart, but for casual. It occupies this wonderful ground, you know, if you want to be stylish yet without being a peacock. It's, I think for me, it's somewhere between the tweed jacket and the sort of lower levels of unstructured garments which people typically wear. Now the Teba jacket has become globally popular, very much so in the United Kingdom, where many of the top Savile Row tailors will offer a Teba jacket within their ready-to-wear range or their bespoke range. So it's something which I think exists to those who are in the know. In fact, you might even recognize them now that you understand more about the garment and will be able to identify its characteristics on other people. I think it falls into that category of a chore jacket, a safari jacket, and again the Teba jacket, which is a little tier below very smart, or on the journey to being quite smart, like tweed jackets and blazers and so on. So it's a good alternative if you don't really want to jump into that, you know, quite formal lines of, say, a blazer, yet you want to step up from maybe a Harrington jacket. The Teba jacket, I think, occupies that great space where you can look incredibly stylish, but actually what you're wearing is a very functional, capable jacket that you can wear in a variety of situations. Now, when we look at the media, I've done a bit of research trying to find, is there any prominent individuals who I could point you to who actually frequently wear a Teba jacket? And there was only one instance where our good friend James Bond has been seen sporting one in one of the movies. And that was a movie from the 1980s, one of the Timothy Dalton movies called License to Kill, in which Bond is seen wearing a Teba jacket, navy in colour, in quite a relaxed, casual outfit. Yet still, the Teba jacket adds some style and grace to that casual look, without it looking too buttoned up and formal. So it's worth having at least a passing knowledge of the Teba jacket in your, you know, your lexicon of style, so that if you're looking to step up a little bit your game of dressing, but you don't want to go too far into the sartorial world, this might be a good place for you. So there we go. If you've enjoyed this response today with your surgery today with the Style Doctor, give the video a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, click the red button, leave me a comment or a question in the comment section below. And if you'd like to support the channel, you can buy me a coffee or even become a patron. I make extra videos for my patrons every week who enjoy that interaction with me on a different level to being here on the main channel, and you'll see all their names at the end of the video, and instructions on how to become a patron are in the show notes below. So until the next time, keep your style in good health, and I will see you again very soon.